Just a very quick, very late night stream. Just a quick test on this too. Can you even hear the music? Or do you just hear me breathing like I'm some kind of pest? Do you hear anything? Where's my sound? Is this working? On my end, there's so much sound, it's like overstimulating. Maybe I'm just not talking into the mic enough. Up, down. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just, okay. It's working. It's been working. It's been working. But yeah, I'm just 5 minutes into a 30-minute review that I've been editing for oh god, like a month. I don't even know. And I'm just I was doing this fun little edit, and I figured, hey, why not? Why not just stream this little bit, get me through it before I go to bed? And this obviously is not my timeline. This is just, I went into a separate program just to animate this, not because this will do any better than DaVinci Resolve, but just because I know this program better than DaVinci Resolve. So that's where I'm at. And then I'm gonna do this whole thing, and then I'm gonna export this and then put it into my main DaVinci Resolve timeline, and then I'm gonna wonder why editing this video is taking so effing long. Here's what I got so far though. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, so that's my... Now I'm just on to... I got 3 more of these buttons to do. This is tied... This is all related to the review. This is very vital for the review. But basically, I have those 2 already animated. Boom, boom, boom. And then the rest of these buttons are going to kind of bump into the rest. If that makes sense. Copy and paste all. Boom. So obviously that's our first impact frame here. So that's gonna bump off. That's gonna rotate a little. And then we're gonna ease that out. This is why I'm using this program, because yeah, I could throw it in After Effects and get the best animation. I could try and figure out how to use DaVinci Resolve, or I could use this old ass, terrible ass program I've been using my whole life. That has all these very simple ease in and ease outs. I could go into a graph and move around nodes, or I could just do this. Boom, there's our next impact. It's gonna bump around there, I think. And then I have to keep, every single time I have to hit copy and paste to all right. I don't actually have to, I think. I could just do the animation, but whatever. I think that went too far. Does that look alright? Person in the chat, does that look alright? That's our next frame right there. Boom! It's gonna turn a little more. And this will be our last frame. And this time it's gonna rotate back that way. What? What the fuck? He has no grace. Base to all right. And unfortunately, you can't move it off of the border. That's the downside of this. So instead of moving it more, I just turn the opacity down all the way. You're not going to see it, obviously, because it's animation. It's one frame, it's there. Next frame, it's not. Although, that's too many frames. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Does that look legit? Actually, you know what? I think it looks better if it stays on. Boom. And then maybe I just make that go a little longer. Boom. Yeah. Are we enjoying this? Is that good? Boom, 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 boom. I don't have to say boom every time, but I just am. Now, this next button that needs to be moved is the famous Calvin peeing on the FM radio from Chris Parnell's Tattoo and Hot Rod. And somehow that ties into Michael Jackson being played on radio stations. It does, I promise it ties in. That would actually be most appropriate for me to put it up there. That is our first impact. And I think it would make sense for that to rotate very heavily, but not go very far. Even give it a little curve. What the? Oh, that might... Ooh, boom. Yeah, so it's more of a slide than like a real impact. Yes, I'm thinking about this a little bit too much. And I think it might not even get hit from here. Maybe one more time. Yeah, it does, okay. That's gonna be cool that it's gonna have like a little like secondary motion. Huh? And like a way more rotation here. And then that's kind of the end of that one, huh? Whoa, that's too hard. Yeah, I think that's it. That's cool. Copy and paste. All right. Boom. Boom. uh, yeah, I know it's not perfect. I see it rotates a little too long on that part. I don't think I care enough to fix it for this gag shot in minute 5 of a 30-minute video. Boom, 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 boom. And finally, the last Michael Jackson connection here. That's if you can't figure out what this is a review of. Sony ATV Music Publishing gets a slightly bigger button because it's a very big thing. And that's going to start its life over here. Copy and paste to all right. First impact. Right. That's a little too... I guess that's where it's going to be. This, needless to say, we'll rotate that way. This one's off center a little bit. The rest of them are centered right, but this one is not. And I think that's okay. That's a little too slidey, huh? Rotates a little too much. Just a little too slidey. Definitely still rotates a little too much. Just go like that. What the heck? Might be the easing. Yeah, because the rotation doesn't finish. So what I can do... 68, and then that goes all the way up to 82. Just put that at like 72. That might fix it. Yeah. That's fine. That's okay. That's okay. Oh, that's not moving fast enough at all. Both of these, that's gotta go back a frame. I might want to consider having that up there a little more. Last one. I think. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why did it do that? Whoa, whoa. Fuck. And we're back to the same problem we had before, where there's no like real connection. Yeah. So, but then my alternative is it's already kind of just poking you there. Unless, boom, and then I do that. And then we'll do that. Yeah, okay, that worked. I think that worked. Worked enough. Again, like 2-second gag in a 30-minute video. Boom, 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 boom. It's cute. And then now for the final trick of it all. I had to keep this on the bottom layer so I could see it, but now that I don't need to see it, I can put it up here. Green screen it out. Which this program has the worst green screen in the world, but it's fine. Wood floor. Wood floor texture. I'm scared of just like accidentally putting in. Ooh. I'm scared of accidentally just putting in like some AI bullshit that people put online. But I think we're okay. I'm just Googling a picture of a hardwood floor and putting it right in. Size. Can you really even tell that it's stretched? Oh, you know what? Here's another trick. Can I alt drag in this program? No, I can't. You can't. That's fucking crazy. Give this a little drop shadow. Huh? Wait. Hey, look at that. I mean, like, that's ugly right now, but it's crazy what a little bit of creativity can get you in a program like this. Can I do opacity with the chroma key? Yeah. And then if I add a little blur, then I have a drop shadow. And I should save, because not this program, my computer is just prone to crashing like all the time. So. Just gonna do a quick scrub. Does that look good at all? Or does that look like not good? That drop shadow. It kind of looks bad, right? I don't care. I think it's funny. I think it's fun. I think it's funny. We'll watch this. Ooh, oh. Yeah. And obviously I'm just going to cut it before it shows that part. The rest of it, I'm just going to cut it like... And cut. That's where I'll end it. Cool. That's fun. Just a fun little edit. And then I'll go ahead and I'll add that into my main timeline. After I render this out. And I'm just gonna call it Rushing Away for the review. It's a good name. And then I'll have to reopen DaVinci as soon as this is done. Holy cow. 503. I usually work either to Smash Brothers or Spyro or Crash Team Racing. OSTs. Cool, the file has been rendered successfully. Now we're gonna close out of this. Boom. Oh, did I leave it open? I had this open the whole time? Dude. Alright. Was this worth it? Oh, let me relay out my whole OBS. OBS is ironically a lot more streamer friendly. Just in terms of, I don't have to have two separate captures for you to be able to see both my timeline and my preview. Now, did this render the whole thing? Yeah, it did. Cool. Even though I did that cut earlier, you saw me move the orange thing. For some reason, I remembered that being like for the actual project, but I guess not.
And very dramatic, some would say cinematic, moments in his career are completely brushed aside for this naive.
And now you know why I needed that. There it is. I said brushed aside, and that's what all this was for.
Are completely brushed aside for this naive.
And why did I have the Calvin and Hobbes thing? Here.
In this movie, when the movie was busy skipping over the admittedly Dick Cheese collab in 1982, which was pivotal for getting Michael Jackson onto white radio stations. So like, how the fuck did...
And of course, as with all my videos, I say the F word, but I'm gonna cut out me saying the F word. I'm gonna put the Joe and Mac scream over top of it, as is customary.
Just skip this.
Oh god, I'm on 5 minutes and 22 seconds of this effing thing that I've been working on for... When did I do this? When did I start this? When did I start the actual editing? I'm looking it up. Oh yeah, I wasn't even working off a separate drive when I started this, so... Can I just look at properties? Is that something I can do? That's disgusting. I was right. It's been almost a month. This is the first edit that I made for this video. This hilarious parody. Nobody's saying this except for me. But this image was made July 15th.
With a movie like this, you can choose to be accurate, you can choose to be interesting. I would argue there's room to do both. Rocket Man, Straight Outta Compton, and Val Kilmer's immortal performance as Jim Morrison in The Doors are successful for painting the broad stroke.
Damn. How many freaking Michael Jackson movie poster parodies did I do for this? So we had one, Bohemian Jackson D. I know this is a running theme in this. I wish I kept it in its own folder.
Shots of the
I think this is the last one I did. I did Moonwalk the Line, classic, and then this was Back to Black, but it's, yeah.
Which this is. Typical biopic, which this is, would have cliche shots of records flying off shelves and screaming fans and that...
Somewhere else in this is a shot where it says Thriller, I hardly know her. I did a lot of just stupid, pointless Photoshop parodies.
Moments in Michael's life are hand waved.
That's Brett Michaels' Life as I Know It.
Hand waved away in single lines, and instead we spend way too much time.
Yeah, I did way too much editing. Oh, that is the director and the writer of the Michael movie with their big throbbing brains.
Symbolic of that, especially given the tone of the following scene.
And yeah, Mike Myers, the immortal Mike Myers, where he says amazing jokes like, get ready for this one, get ready for this one.
Juvenile, predictable humor isn't limited to Mike Myers.
I want to be in the front row for those French artists. They're not so big on showering.
There's a scene where Michael's having a meaningful, heartfelt conversation.
Got him.
In the theater, I turned to my friend and I said, it's gonna zoom out.
Oh yeah, we're gonna crash. It's so gonna crash here. Is it not gonna crash? Did I save when I put in the thing? Are we good? I think we're good. Okay. I thought for sure we were gonna have a crash there.
Of Michael Jackson and these vital and very dramatic, some would say cinematic, moments in his career.
I also had to Google if that meme is still relevant. I didn't want to use it because it's an old meme, but it's hard not to when you like put in when like every 3 seconds is an edit. It's hard not to just like default to some kind of shitty jokes.
Are completely brushed aside for this
But yeah, that's what this whole stream was for, was just that one piece of animation.
moments in his career
Boom,
are completely
boom,
brushed
boom,
aside for this
boom.
naive, do no wrong depiction that comes across as so flat
And so sterile.
Michael
Yeah. So yeah, that's what the next video is going to be, is very late highbrow review of Michael. And maybe I'll do more of these editing streams, because, you know, why not? Alright, well, thanks for watching. And probably I'll try to make the next one a little more entertaining than this, but I watch other people do editing streams and they really just get locked into it in general. And I think that's fair, because that's kind of the nature of what this is. But what is this edit?
he doesn't start playing the Billie Jean music video.
Oh yeah, just that's what this is. I'll play this a little bit. God, I guess I won't.
Wow.
Also, another thing about watching other people's editing streams is like the sound of scrubbing is the worst sound in the world if you're not the one doing the editing.
Especially given the tone of the following scene. That scene where they both access to a single line is the scene where the president of CBS, played by Mike Myers, threatens to remove Bruce Springsteen, Billy Joel, Cyndi Lauper, Bob Dylan, all the other artists off of MTV if MTV doesn't start playing the Billie Jean music video.
And then yeah, I edited that. I took the MTV TV and then I changed out the screen, did the static effect, and then I swapped it out for that thing that Al Jean wants to be wiped from the earth, which was, you know, one of the most iconic episodes of his show, The Simpsons. For some reason, Al Jean, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you could give Al Jean a time machine and show him that Michael Jackson never did it, and I think Al Jean would still be resting on his laurels that we have to delete the most iconic Simpsons episode anyway.
Billie Jean music video. A massive and pivotal.
Also,
This time.
not that I'm really into this sort of thing, but there's definitely a lot of like gooner moments in this.
Massive and pivotal moment in history for Mike.
And then there's a VHS tape I bought at Value Village. It's called like Extreme Laughs and Gags Volume 3 or something like that. And I took a picture of the cartoon, the clip art cartoon that's on the VHS tape. Like that's on the box. And then I animated his hair flying off. God damn it. Yeah, you just saw it anyway.
Thriller blew up. Billie Jean music video. Moment in history for Michael Jackson, black artists, MTV, and all of pop music. And the writers thought, wow, what a great moment for Mike Myers to do some shit jokes. Not just that the jokes were shit, which they were, but that they were actually jokes about shit.
I don't give a shit. I'm
gonna save that one. That's an edit that I personally am very happy with, and I'm gonna save it. There's a lot of articles too. Holy crap. I've done so much freaking... If you ever want to know about a New York Times article about anything relating to Michael Jackson from the years of 1981 to 1987, I am your new encyclopedia because Jesus Christ, I've done so much research for this, for this thing. It's going to get 7 views, and I did so much research.
Michael about the real money in music being in owning other artists' catalogs. This is huge. They skipped how Michael got onto the majority of radio stations, and they're skipping Michael buying the Beatles' music catalog.
Some of these news clippings are just from The Detail, which is this channel. It's just about Michael Jackson. And then a bunch of these, I spent way too much time going in like archive websites. Like there's a BBC News one around somewhere around there. Yeah, right there. That one, that's like an Internet Archive one. And yeah, if you ever like wanted to know if there's a screenshot of a news article about Michael Jackson doing anything, I've become a human encyclopedia of that specifically.
People bought so much of Sony's music catalog that they allegedly blocked his singles, stopped promoting him from touring, and tried to put him in.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm going to watch that brush animation one more time just because I think it's satisfying, and then I'm going to call it.
Cinematic moments in his career are completely brushed aside for this naive.
I think it helps that the brush is on top because there's definitely like... how do I go frame by frame in this? Close enough. Yeah, I think that helps. I think that adds a little depth to it. Cool. I did a thumbs up, but I realized I don't have my webcam on, so just imagine me doing a thumbs up. Goodbye.